A new challenger has appeared. Will this card be Dynamite or just another dud?
Before we get to Jocasta's preview, along with some decks, we will get to the review of Warlock. Now, like I thought, Warlock is a very good card, very versatile, if you like those styles of decks.
Wrong. Do it over.
Wrong I was. So this card is now a dud? Am I gonna be wrong twice? Let me explain. Right now, I just don't see how Warlock significantly adds to the decks that I tried him in. I tried him in a ton of different decks. I will probably bring a deck video, so for the few of you all that watch these previews, don't fall for the clickbait. The deck I think I have is actually pretty decent, surprisingly enough. It is unique based on what I've seen other creators do with the card. So it's one I still want to bring because I think there's some value there. I believe in the deck, as I do all of my deck videos. But overall, I think this is a passable card. Mobius, of course, absolutely nukes this card and what it wants to do. So the deck I'll be bringing mitigates that to a certain extent. But overall, you really needed to play him on turn 3 and, just draw luck. You're not going to be able to play him on turn 3 all the time. He's useless on turn 6 and he's useless on turn 5 unless you're playing Magic. So you really only have 2 turns to play him, turns 3 and 4, which holds the card back as well. In addition, the random nature of the discounts, sometimes it can be split enough where you just can't play both of the cards that you would ideally want to get discounted low enough. Sometimes it goes to a card that you really don't want to play. So it's just all over the place. There's enough randomness here in addition to the draw luck that I just think this is fully a passable card. Now, the reason I say I might be wrong in the future is because somebody may be able to figure out a way to really unlock Warlock's potential in a deck that makes sense and mitigate some of his randomness. But otherwise, I think you're safe passing on this card. And that is the final review. Now, Jocasta is a very interesting card. She doubles up your activate abilities so you can still use them because she doesn't actually trigger those activate abilities on the other cards. There are a number of activate cards in the game. The one that really comes to mind that I would love to be able to make busted is Symbiote Spider-Man, but that just doesn't make sense here because Symbiote Spider-Man would activate and turn into Jocasta if you only have those 2 in the lane, so I couldn't figure out anything in that area. But otherwise, there are some strong activate cards in the game. Invisible Woman First Steps jumps to immediate mind, but there are others that people will get creative in using. And so what will that creativity look like? If you are a Series 2 player, creativity is not possible. This card needs other activate cards. There are no other activate cards in Series 2. So grow your collection. Series 3 does not have many more. There is Lockjaw and Black Widow, so we have both of them in this deck. This is just an odd mash of cards. You see a bunch of high-costed cards. That's for the Lockjaw. Black Widow, being able to trigger her with Jocasta, like you essentially stop all draws. So there might be a very annoying Darkhawk type deck that uses Black Widow and Jocasta to deny draws, and then on turn 5, they've stopped drawing. Drawing is over with because on turns 4, 5, and 6, they won't be able to draw. Or turns 5 and 6, they won't be able to draw. Because you're playing Jocasta on turn 4, they have a Widow's Bite, you're activating Black Widow then, and then they get another Widow's Bite, and so they don't draw the last 2 turns. On turn 5, you can play Darkhawk. On turn 6, you can play some Rocks and Mystique, some combination of that. So there might be a deck there that pops up. That's not what this deck is. This is more based off of Lockjaw as well, because you can activate him twice, potentially. So that's interesting. And that's the idea I had for Series 3. Clearly, Jocasta is not a lower CL level card. She is strictly for higher CL level players. And I went with, I referenced her before, Invisible Woman Fuss. And also with the Fantasticar synergy, there's the usual suspects in Sunspot, Hydra Bob, Havoc, and Makari for Fantasticar. There's Red Hulk and Galactus first steps on the top end. We have Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. So potentially on turns 4 or 5, we've now drawn both of our big power cards and deciding when to actually activate Invisible Woman, Fuss, or Fantasticar. And so this is where I think I would start if I get Jocasta. But will Nerd actually get her? No, he won't. I'm just not convinced this card will be good enough. At 3 cost, it may get a little bit awkward where she actually fits in. You have to play her on turns 3, 4, or 5. So there is a decent size window, but then you also need to be able to get down your other activate cards that you want to get doubled, and then also the cards that you benefit from those activate effects. So with Invisible Woman First Steps, you're dedicating 2 turns to Invisible Woman Fuss or Jocasta, but then you also needed to have played out some of your cheaper cards early, or you're just playing them out on turn 5. That way you can ideally activate Jocasta, but you may want to do some other things on turn 5, like Fantasticar potentially, and maybe that's where you pivot, and instead of doubling up Fantastic Woman, whatever her name is, you double up Fantasticar. So it also says immediately activate your other cards here, so all of them. So maybe you just double up everything, but that also leaves you susceptible to some tech. Maybe Ghost comes out of the closet and sees her time in the sun. And now that Jocasta, I figure, may bring back Invisible Woman back into the meta. And so, but still, I don't think she has staying power. I think it will prove a little bit too awkward in the normal flow of playing out cards and needing to draw, and it won't be as flexible. So I'm just not sold. This card right now is a dud for me, and I'll have to be convinced. I'm not saying I won't get this card, but I will need, this was a wait and see for me, and to see if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll get the card and I'll tell you all during the review. But I am always right.
Man is dumb.
So thank you to all the members, and thank you to everybody that watches this deep into the videos. Boy, do I have a bonus game for you with somebody that casts and named Joe. What? Okay, as you can see, we are still in Deadpool's Diner. Is it still live? Well, for me it is. And I have so many bubs, I don't know what to do with them. So you will see me snapping anyway. If you didn't know, Merlin's real name is Joe, and he cast a spell.
I hate your face.
No? Nobody? Let's play into the... Oh, I gotta get Black Cat down. Okay, we'll get Black Cat down. And a Hydra Bob. We will get Joe down next. Ooh, fancy, an Invisible Woman. Okay, I should have played it middle. And a Sakar. Oh boy. Sakar is gonna pull a card I don't want pulled. Yep, there we go. So now it's just, can we win off the back of Dark Hawk? Omniversal Presence. Let's give them a Master Mold. And we can change this location. Yes. Or do I want to stack power middle? Let me stack power middle. There we go. because you figure I'm going to win left with a Darkhawk. Let's fill their hand and snap over there. And now I play a Darkhawk here and a Polymorph or a Gorgon and Prodigy, I suppose. Maybe Hydra Bob will go middle or left, I mean. And I'm pretty sure Luis is a bot. So that's something. And let's go with a let's go with a Korg, Gorgon, and Prodigy, and call it a day. And yes, of course, this is a bot. Of course it is, because this is such a weird game, but I'm sorry, folks. This is the bonus game you're getting. There we go. Gambit was never a threat. Because if it was a real person, you definitely would play hella behind the Lady Sif. But I'm sorry, folks. This is what you're getting with the Jocasta spell deck.
I have no clue why anyone watches you